In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make modern pop music, going for a very modern, trendy TikTok/radio vibe. And to do that, I remade Tate McRae's song, You're So Cool, and I will break down the song's elements, the sounds of those elements, the mixing, the structure, all that jazz. And hopefully by the end of this tutorial, you can start to make some music in a similar style to this one. Set the tempo around 130 to 135 BPM. Start off by getting yourself a guitar sample. Some good resources to go get something like this are Splice, which is paid for, and Looperman, which is completely free and uploaded by the community. I use both on a daily basis when making my tracks, so I highly recommend either of those options. Next, make some chords that can fit that guitar sample. If you're struggling to make some chords, a good resource I can recommend is the legacy version of chord.com. You just put what key you're in, generate it, and then boom, you get some great chords. And if you hover over it, it gives you the notes in those chords, so you could click on it, play, see how it sounds, all that. Not a sponsor, I just really like using that tool. And for these sounds in particular, I went for kind of a synthy piano sound, and I used this piano preset from Flex, this other piano preset from Flex, this synth preset from one of MHA's Vital Sound Banks, and another MHA Vital Soundbank synth. So very airy and atmospheric synth sounds, along with some pretty generic piano sounding things, just to kind of elevate the sound and make it pop a little bit. And for the mixing, all I have is an EQ just to cut out a little bit of the lows, just so that it's not muddy when we work with basses later and stuff like that. And then boost a little bit of the highs. We want kind of a higher frequency sound for these chords, so I kind of just boosted the second to highest a little bit, just so that you can hear that a little more in the mix. I have some strings that follow the same chords. This is just a standard string preset from Flex, and the same mixing from earlier with the chords as well. Next, take the bass notes from those chords and chop them up into a rhythm. To add some grooviness and rhythm to the bass lines, you can obviously hear that I have some transition notes here that just are in the key, and they just kind of transition from one bass note to the next. I have 4 different presets to accomplish the sound of this. I have this bass preset from Flex, this other bass guitar preset from Flex, this more synthetic sound from MHA's Vital Sound Bank Volume 1, and another synthetic bass sound from the same sound bank. So this one's kind of like an analog type bass, this one's kind of like a punchy sub bass, and then these two are bass guitar presets, but they focus more on the lows of a bass guitar. And the only mixing that I have done on here is a Fruity Blood overdrive, nothing done to it, just the actual thing just thrown in there. All in all, just to amplify the overall bass sound. Now for the drums. I have a kick. Make sure it's very punchy and like trap-esque, hard-hitting type kick like that. I have a hat loop that's just filled in each 2 steps, but as you see, I added some variance right here. So you could do that with your patterns, just kind of keep it the same rhythm going on, but then you can add some little changes here and there, just to kind of give it some extra flavor. And then I have another hat just to layer underneath that one. And then where I also added that flavor, I also have a sampled version of that flavor, which is just like a little sample of like trap hi-hats. And then I have like a snap snare combo mixed with another trap snare. And the 2 snares sound like this. All of the drums together sound like this. The pattern of the drums is very poppy, but the overall sound of it is kind of like on the trap hip-hop side. Just for some variance later on in the drum beat, I also have this open hi-hat. Make sure it plays right in between the beats so that it would sound like this with the rest of the drums. And to amplify the drums a little bit, I put a Fruity Blood overdrive with these settings on every single drum sample. All I really did is just turn the main knob a little bit up to just amplify it a little bit more. Now for the structure of this track. So this right here is like the chorus part, and then this right here is like any verse part. Just imagine like this goes further back to the left more. So you can start off just with the vocals and the guitar, and then implementing in the snap/snare type sample just to kind of build up to this chorus, which is where you start introducing the rest of the elements that we have here. We have the guitar from earlier, the chords, the bass, and then the drums. And then later on, we keep the consistency from earlier, but we just add onto it with the strings. And then we also have this other hi-hat down here. And yeah, after all that, here's the final result. If you go